presence is obviously something that you practice, something that you teach, and obviously something that you exude. So my question to you is, what is your definition of presence, and why is it so important to you?
I've never really thought about a definition of presence because it's so primarily experiential. But, the qualities for me of presence are being able to be fully open to and joined with now, this moment. And sort of bringing our full selves there, full body, full mind, full attention, and not leaving some of ourselves scattered in thoughts or anxieties or worries or whatever kind of activations that take us out of now and move us into the past or the future. And it's not just about us being present, but in the process of becoming present, of embodying presence, we begin to have a looser hold on things that make us contract, like identity, self-hate, criticism, judgment. We are less under the sway of the discursive and discriminating and often critical mind, and we have access to what is our birthright, which is that when we're present, when we are in presence, when we are manifesting awakeness and presence, that in that state and in that place, it's really seeing the truth of things as they are. We hold much less tightly to ourselves. We open much more to the depth of experience. We open much more to our heart. We open much more to a whole range of feelings and sensory inputs that we're normally closed off to because we're so distracted by our mind. And in that space, we open to connection, love, intuition, shared heart, shared space. It's a kind of spacious lovingness that is in some ways the essence of what occurs, what's characteristic of presence. I have been drawn to this since I was 3 or 4 years old. My earliest experiences were looking up on my back at clouds. And as a child, 2 or 3 years old, in my parents' backyard. And I spent days doing this, hours doing it. After, preschool, I think I was in nursery school one of those years, and during the summer and spring and fall. And there was something that would happen when I would just get absorbed in watching the clouds, where I was fully present. I wasn't gone. I wasn't totally absorbed in the clouds. But there was an ease and a connection that I knew was fundamental and somehow was familiar, even though I felt very comfortable, even though I didn't have words for it and didn't think much about it, but always was kind of fascinated with that way of being. And then in adolescence, I was very, 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 very anxious, and I started meditating when I was 11. I've done a lot of meditation. And I see that meditation helps, but doesn't always bring people to presence. Like, meditation is helpful for quieting parts of the mind, but unless people bring that practice forward into their life, into relationships, into how they drive, how they are on the phone, how they go to the bathroom, how they pay a cashier. It's about embodying something versus thinking or trying to be a certain way. And to me, I was introduced to the concept of enlightenment through waking up very early, probably when I was 11 or 12. I didn't understand it then. I did pursue it. And I think that over time, I've gotten a profoundly different experience of what waking up is. And it's ultimately, it's not somewhere in the future. The moment you wake up, even if it's for limited moments at a time, you realize it's all been here, it's all in the present, and you just haven't been there.
Have you noticed any sort of pattern as to what easily draws you from that space?
I think that anything that activates any of us presents itself as an opportunity to work on exactly because it brings us out of ourselves and into a hijacking by an emotional state. So when you see injustice, when you feel that people are not being reasonable, logical, or critical thinking, it really triggers something.